Hello everyone and welcome to another StarCraft 2 commentary with EXO, and this is going to be game 2 between Morrow and Strelok spawning spawning on Jungle Basin in the Go for EC2 Cup Finals. What am I blabbering about here? And Morrow is going to be spawning as a blue Zerg at the 5 o'clock position, while Strelok is going to be spawning as the red Zerg at the 10 o'clock position. Now, as for last game, here's spoiler incoming, so if you haven't watched, then go watch. Morrow did lose the game, and Strelok did a pretty convincing push over there with timing attack, Stimpack, and combat shield, taking down all the drones at the natural and all the Zerglings and so forth, making a nice wall off for himself between the mineral patches over there, protecting his marines and letting the Marauders absorb most of the damage. Now this time, let's see how the game will progress on Jungle Basin. Thing is, Jungle Basin is it's kind of a weird map for Zerg. It's good and it's bad. It's good because you can really get fast expand over here and not have anything to worry about really, because this is defended by the rocks, and these are not going to go down for quite a while, so you can just drone up as much as you can. But at the same time, you have to keep an eye out on what your opponent is doing, so you have to know what to expect, because if you're just going to drone hardcore and get a fast expo up, and your opponent is going to go for a timing push, like for instance the one before, in the game before that Strelok did, you're going to get overrun and you're probably going to lose the game. So you have to keep on your toes and make sure you scout. And as Zerg, it's a little bit uncomfortable to scout. The only real way to scout is with overlords, but until you get overlord speed, you have to know how to suicide those overlords and really get most of the information you can. So here we go. Oh, and looks like indeed Morrow is going for a fast hatch, so 15 hatch into 14 pool, and Strelok is going for a very fast command center himself. Also a barracks being planted down here, no gas yet, so this is a really interesting build from Strelok. Probably assuming that Morrow is definitely going to go for a fast expansion as Zerg, definitely on this map of all maps, making the right assumption over there. And indeed looks like Morrow is going to scout this expansion out. Now this is interesting. He already knows about this, so he knows he's not going to have to worry about all that much early on in the game. But let's see how much is this. This hatchery is almost completed, so that's a really good thing over there. Spawning pool is also completed, and a queen coming out at the main right now. Command center almost completed for Strelok as well. Now this is a map. Why was I saying that it's good and it's bad for Zerg? So it's good because you can get this expansion and not have to worry about it so much. But then again, the third is like either here, and this is like far away from your natural. You have to go all the way up here, and not only that, but you have to take down the rocks to be able to get there. That means you're going to expose your natural as well, and this is pretty hard to defend because it's like in this position you can't really get there so easy. And this one is smack in the middle over here, exposed for fire from all directions, from here, and here. So it's really uncomfortable to have this expansion unless you have the forces to back it up with. Now, no gold expansions on this map, so it doesn't really matter where you expand that much as long as you expand. But as I said, it's tricky. As for Terran usually likes to go for this expansion first because it's a forward expansion. It's easier to defend because he can get there fast, and he just usually plants a planetary fortress down here, which helps a lot. It's much easier to defend. As for Zerg, you know, it's more uncomfortable. You don't have the advantage of having those planetary fortresses in such a key position. Now, Morrow is getting a third queen out, so he has 2 queens already, and Strelok is going for, what is this? Is this going to be another timing push? No, there's no Stimpack really. There's no Stimpack or combat shields, so just producing off these 2 barracks with no add-ons whatsoever. This SCV is here, and some Zerglings coming in right now, but let's see if they're going to be able to do anything. Not sure if he's going to commit to something. Now, is this Overlord going to make it away? Might just make it away. Indeed, gets away with 34 HP. It's really something you don't want to have, losing Overlords this early on. As you don't have the money and the larva to spare for making Overlords that die like that. This SCV probably going to go down or not. Morrow is pulling back. Seems like Strelok is pulling back as well. And Morrow was supply blocked for a little bit over there, but now is making ton of Zerglings, seeing that push was so close to his front door. These 2 SCVs, wow, Zerglings looking like SCVs to me right now. Yeah, it's late, so yeah. But these SCVs chasing down, killing 1 Marine, Zergling speed is almost done, and Morrow is already being busy expanding his creep, and he's putting 2 creep tumors over here. And this is an interesting placement of creep tumors, probably going to expand over onto this ledge, one here, or something like that. And nice to get 3 queens like that. You get 2 for dedicated larva inject, and the other for just creep tumor spamming. And taking a look at Strelok, it seems like he did get those 2 tech labs like in the previous game, and is getting the exact same upgrades, the combat shield and the stim pack at the same time. And looking at both players, I can't really say anything different is happening. They're both going for pretty much the exact same build, although there are 2 evolution chambers going down here for Morrow, so gonna expect some upgrades over here, and also a hatchery, an in-base hatchery. Now this is very smart. Just gonna this is a very good idea, especially on jungle basin, because of the reasons I mentioned before. If you expand, you're gonna be vulnerable, and if you don't want to have that, but you want the extra larva production, then just drop an in-base hatchery until you are comfortable with taking a 3rd expansion. So a 3rd base, actually, it's the 2nd expansion. So yeah, this is always a good idea. This is always a good idea because it's safe and it's right here, and you can inject with your queen, or you can get an additional queen. Depends how you prefer. If you have stacked enough energy on this queen, you can just inject with it. But usually, just get another queen. Not to mention the queens are not bad for defense against like banshees and all sorts of harassment like that, drops and so forth. Not to mention that the extra transfuse is nice to have. So looks like Morrow is going to try and take down the rocks over here. And a drone is up at this expansion. Maybe gonna see a hatchery going down here pretty fast. Oh, and Strelok is pushing across the map right now. I'm gonna take a look at the unit counting station, and 22 marines, 6 marauders. Harvester count kind of even. He's moving across the map right now. These marines might get assaulted, and because they're kind of isolated here, but Zerglings are going down. They're stimming away, but they're pretty weak right now. There are no medevacs yet, and Morrow is throwing a lot of Zerglings in here as well, trying to do a 2-side sandwich attack, but he does back off. He knows that this is too much to handle right now, especially he knows that there is stim right there. So doesn't want to really lose his forces. There we go, and he's trying to pull off the surround. He's still on creep, doing a good amount of damage over there. Seems like he's going to be able to clean this up easily, and there's just too many Zerglings to deal with right now. Strelok picking off as many Zerglings as he could, but still a lot of Zerglings remain, and a lot more following. So yep, that definitely going in Morrow's favor, and the Spire is going down. So we're gonna have some mutas flying around pretty soon, most likely. And as for Strelok, he did get his starport and is now making 2 medevacs off it with a reactor, and also getting Terran infantry weapons level 1. And the Baneling Nest has gone down for Morrow, and Centrifugal Hooks is on the way. And what? This is maybe I think it was supposed to be an infestation pit, but okay. Double Spire, maybe he wants to go for double upgrades. I don't know. Can be something, but it's a little bit too overboard. I'm not sure, but let's see what Morrow is thinking by doing that. Here we go, and seems like a drop is gonna come on this side, and Strelok is going to drop. This is smart, because Zerglings won't get the surround on this area because of the back over here, and Marines are doing a lot of damage. They are being healed by the medevacs, and a lot of Zerglings are going down right here. So look at this. Zerglings are still going down, going down, and a few Marines left over there, and they still stay alive. Wow. Still, oh, but here comes the second wave. And Strelok is just loading up and going away. Doesn't want to lose those 3 Marines for nothing. And here we go. Morrow has Centrifugal Hooks researched right now, and is getting a lot of Banelings, and also some Mutalisks coming out. Taking a look at the unit counting station, there's 6 Mutalisks on the way, and 7 Banelings right now, and 25 Links. So Morrow is looking really good right now. He has his 3rd up, while Strelok does not have a 3rd up. He doesn't even have a actually he does right now. He just started building a command center. Most likely going to try taking this position over here, putting down a planetary fortress. Oh, splat they go. And Banelings rolling in, doing what they do best, and just exploding into that infantry ball. Looks like another drop came down here, and nothing really to worry about. These mutas are handling it quite well, and might pick off this medevac as well. This muta needs to chase it down, and one more hit. Come on, brave Mutalisk. Splat it goes. And this might die as well. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. No, Morrow does decide to back off. And on the production tab, we have upgrades, carapace, and melee level 2. So obviously, Morrow going for just a lot of Zerglings, and this is what he wants to get. So Zergling, with armor and damage. So they absorb the most of the damage, so the Banelings can go in and the Mutalisk to finish the job. Now here's a lot of Banelings. Whoa, gotta be careful, Strelok. Holy crap! Yes, that is what we like to see. And here we go. This command center is floating straight above these Mutalisk. Actually, just straight into these Mutalisk, and picking off some medevacs over there. Good thing to pick off those medevacs, and more forces to reinforce. For Strelok over here, more Zerglings as well. And a big badass Thor here, but he's kind of alone, and most likely he's gonna get creamed. Yep, there we go. The Thor gets picked up and gets dropped on the ledge over here, and doing some damage to these mutas and taking down one Mutalisk to remain on low HP. But a lot of Zerglings are streaming in here right now, and come on, pick up the Thor. Pick up the Thor. Pick it up. No, why doesn't he pick it up? Oh, that is so sad to see the Thor go down. And this Planetary Fortress is not going to be able to finish, and it does go down indeed. Nice play from Morrow over here, not letting the Terran expand to this key position. If he gets a Planetary Fortress over here, it's very hard to break through that. You have to find ways around it. Sorry about the noise. My mic is a little bit too close this time. I'm going to move it a little bit away. There we go. So, looks like Strelok is going to... use a lot of SCVs as tanks in this push over here. And what is he? He looks pretty pissed right now. He's very annoyed by all these forces incoming from Morrow, and is being very aggressive himself. But there's a lot of Mutalisk incoming, and whoa, this game is really dynamic. I mean, what can I say? It's Jungle Basin is really a map where you don't really see this much aggression, but here we go. This is a lot of aggression, and a lot of aggression from the Zerg. So this is always nice, and obviously the Terran is being aggressive as usual. So yeah. Taking a look at what's happening over here, almost he's getting Strelok is getting weapons, infantry weapons level 3 already, and armor level 2. So he's been quite busy with those upgrades already, as we can see. Upgrades on those Marines. And as for those 2 spires, they're kind of not getting used. I mean, first upgrade is coming right now, so I don't know what Morrow is thinking, making those spires. So Morrow, if you can hear this, bad boy, be careful with the misclicks next time. You're in the tournament final, you have to spare every resource and be careful with your micro and so forth. So there we go. But Morrow seems like he's doing just fine, even though he has 2 spires. I wonder if his opponent knows that he does have 2 spires. I'm just going to check this out, just for the sake of it. And no, actually, just scanning back then, seeing 1 spire, but they're actually 2 spires. And yeah, I guess this Mutalisk is becoming more confident or something, right? Because he has 2 spires. But anyway, jokes aside, another 16 Banelings on the way. Wow, this is going to be really bad, and I don't know if Strelok is going to be able to do anything about this. Trying to get up another command center to expand at the middle over here, but there's a lot of stuff from Morrow, and these forces are walking on creep as well. And this is not going to be good. Zerglings moving in, Banelings following, and whoa, this army is just going to get so creamed. There we go, that's it, finishing everything. And taking a look at the supply count, as we can see, Morrow is very far ahead of Strelok, so Strelok looking in a pretty compromising position right now. And as for the income tab, here we go. They're still pretty much equal, but it's not going to hold for long. And there we go. Strelok GG's out of the game, knowing he's pretty much mined out his bases, and he doesn't have an expansion secured, so it's pretty much all downhill from here. And Morrow taking game 2, which is nice because now we have a tie. It's 1-1. The score is tied, and nice play from Morrow this game. Kind of aggressive after. It didn't let that timing push do any damage like it did in the first game. It fooled me once, don't fool me twice. So Morrow showing us that he knows how to handle a pretty difficult timing push like that. So stim back with a combat shield very early on is really something uncomfortable to fight against. But he did get a lot of Zerglings. He managed to stay on top of the situation, stopped droning for a little while, and just got those Zerglings. Also got this. I really like the fact that he got this in base hatchery. This is something Mad Frog kind of started to do. I mean, people weren't really making hatcheries in base like they used to in StarCraft 1. So in StarCraft 2 they weren't doing this, but Mad Frog kind of started to do this, and some people are are kind of following in this in his footsteps about that with this strategy. And Morrow also secured this this middle hatchery over here, which means, and in this case, Strelok really couldn't do anything about this. There's like huge unit production and income. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys in game 3, and hope to see as many games tonight as possible. So, see you guys in game 3.